Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I'm Alice, and I'm joined by Brian.
This isn't a photo of my beautiful wife. This isn't a photo of my beautiful house.
And Nico.
It's too late. I've already labeled myself as the hottie and you as the newbie on my pincer movement app.
It's time to get your A2 loadout, get in your Fuchi coma, and get ready to deploy, because this time we're going to learn that my haptic region multiplier goes up to 5 on Ghost in the Shell 2026 Episode 2. Let's launch into it.
Brian here in the break, and you know what that means. Announcements. Actually, first, before we get to that, don't forget to check out osgpod.com for visual aids and just an all-around excellent podcast companion website. And definitely don't forget to check content warnings in our episode descriptions. Vital public infrastructure we're providing here. Okay. First things I want to talk about here, the locked-in game / Mecha Media Jam is well underway. That's running from the beginning of July to the end of July. And I think if you have to submit a little bit late, like I don't think nobody's gonna fire a missile at your house. So relax. We've gotten a bunch of fantastic energy swirling in the OSG Discord and our Blue Sky about it. We're just like, this is probably like the biggest like community project we've done with like the biggest sort of like response and energy with it. So we're really happy with it. We're so thankful. We can't just wait to see what you guys are all doing. People are very, very into it. So I'm very like, ooh la la, woo woo, about it. So you could say I'm gay about it. Actually, that's fair. That's a fair thing to say. I know you're already probably thinking it. If you have something you'd like to showcase, whether it be some form of game whip, short story, TTRPG, anything else, feel free to hit our itch.io page from the website, Discord, or Blue Sky locked in announcements. We'll be doing an episode on all of the, I don't think we're going to be able to get to every single entry. We'll be doing a non-exhaustive postmortem at the end of August when we've had time to really look at everybody's entries. And otherwise, the only other thing I have here is you can subscribe to our Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/OSGpod, where for $1 a month, you can hear Alice, Iris, Jay, and I talk about the Fast and the Furious franchise. That podcast is called Cars Don't Fly. It's a very good podcast. We are all kind of on our biggest, most elaborate bullshit with it. I do tons and tons of research for it. We have guests signed up for the rest of our episodes. It's been so much fun. If you've liked any form of OSG content, I promise you'll like this. It is just like an upgrade because we're getting paid for it. So even if you hate cars, like I do, I hate cars and I'm running that podcast. So trust me, it's worth a single $1, I promise. So ko-fi.com/OSGpod for that. We only spread through word of mouth. We really don't do advertisements. So again, just tell your friends about us. Go to osgpod.com, share us on social media, follow us on Blue Sky, have fun with us, touch us through the internet, touch our faces through the internet by clicking like on stuff, you know. Okay, go back to the fucking show now. God, bye.
Hot.
Up top, they did it. They did the Yuri, and they dialed it to 11. But let's jump into it. So the name of these two episodes, Super Spartan 2, so wrapping up Super Spartan 1 from last episode, and Junk Jungle 1. As we're pretty much just figuring out, we are one for one doing the manga, complete with chapter titles and even the text. But here's the thing, we fleshed it out a bit more. I think, I don't know about you, impressions coming in, I think they breathed a little more than they did in the manga.
I think this is a good episode to talk about the difference between pacing and amount of content. But I think I kind of agree, yeah.
So, what's the summary of this episode? Well, let's get that out of the way and let's just jump into it.
Thanks for asking, Alice. I'll go ahead and read it.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't have it open.
What the fuck was
you
that?
Just said it in such a weird tone.
Hey. You can open the notes that I write.
She linked them just for you and everything.
In the wrap up. Yeah, I even linked it. I didn't ask you to go and find this one. This is Bigly for me.
Bigly?
It's fucking Bigly, gamers.
I gotta go.
Okay. Summarize
in the wrap-up of Super
Spartan 2, we expand on the coveted bar scene and really breathe in the destruction of Aramaki's car. And Junk Jungle 2, we finally get the Yuri Major we always wanted.
Go back. It's Junk Jungle 1. Go back. Edit.
Reading your errors live on air. In Junk Jungle 1, we finally get the Yuri Major we've always wanted, and we are kissing girls and lathering them in blue goo. Unfortunately, the Major has no time for that, as the newly formed Section 9 has its first mission, getting involved in a weird political conspiracy, where a super wizard hacker called the Puppet Master has hacked someone in an attempt to frame someone, unknown at this time, who any of the parties are. This leads them to the iconic trash truck chase.
So that's what happened.
So, Alice, was that basically what you were going to say, or?
It was really similar to what I was going to say, what I had prepared. But I did have it as Junk Jungle 1. You kind of fucked that up.
You fucked that up.
I fucked it up real bad. I just want to apologize to the listeners. I want to apologize to the listeners for that and for also all of the wrong things that I said about Jennifer Lopez. So, just so we have that on the record.
No, that's got to be a main feed episode. Okay, so first off, let's just talk about the pacing. Immediately we're pumping the brakes, right? Like it's weird, but we're not also pumping the brakes. We're like, the bar scene is a perfect example. That was one page in the manga, and we're kind of there for a minute.
It's very strange, right? Because you're right. Like, we're getting a lot more talking, we're getting a lot more slow camera movement, we're getting a lot more stillness with like what we're doing with all the character models and stuff. But the amount of information and the amount of simultaneous events have created this very surreal experience that does, as someone put in the Discord, feel like drinking from the fire hose a little bit. I am still really overwhelmed by the plot overall, and I don't really know what to make of that. But yeah,
it's weird because the manga had a framework at the beginning that gave you world state, and you got, honestly, the margins helped a lot. They have margins here, like we get the margin on World War IV, non-nuclear World War IV gets dropped. Shout out non-nuclear World War IV, my favorite, my best.
I don't know what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with non-nuclear weapons.
Non-nuclear sticks and stones. Yep. But I'm struggling with them explaining what these prosthetic bodies are. Why is Bato hot? Why can his full cyberized body not regulate its temperature?
Oh, sure, yeah. I thought you were asking why he's attractive, and I was like, how dare you ask that question?
First off, nobody here is saying Bato isn't serving cunt the entire time the show's on.
I am. Again, like, this was a specific 80s mood when guys could wear, like, khakis and a polo and kind of make it work. I do think, unfortunately, we are in an era where smoking is kind of being made to seem cool again. There's vaping happening. Unfortunately, I do have to state that I think the way that the polo works on him in the bar scene is because he does have a pack of cigarettes in that little pocket.
Oh, sure. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It gives him some slutty je ne sais quoi, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Smoking is back. Everybody pick up a cigarette. It is cool again.
Nope. And if you're in Europe, don't change anything about your lifestyle because you just kept doing that. I do want to back up and say, I think that this episode is interesting in terms of, like you said, they're doing the manga, but they're also putting more stuff in. And one of the things I talked about last time is it feels like right from the jump, we get a sense that this show has different priorities and different things it wants to talk about. And for me, the bar scene up front was like really small details, but it's doing something that I don't remember from the manga. One of the things that we hear in the background is the bartender complaining about the fact that it takes so much effort to make one glass of water. And what the Major is drinking in this bar is not liquor. She is drinking a glass of ice water. And she has the drunk flush. I don't know what this means for like cyborg bodies, but she's drinking ice water. And it is presented by the bartender in that way as something luxurious. And then we see this again later because the animation lingers lovingly on the fact that one of the evil guys that Bato is surveilling in his Fuchikama when he gets overheated keeps putting his cigars out into what you think at first is a glass of like brown liquor, and then you realize when the waiter, when his butler replaces it with a clean glass of water. He's just been putting cigars out into clean water and basically having the butler take it away. I don't know what this means. I don't know what the series is doing with this, but there's too much intentionally put on screen in such a short series for me to think that this isn't going to be something. I missed that
because what I was... You did pick up on that, Alice?
I did pick up on it, but I'm still obsessed with whatever happened in Ghost in the Shell Arise about water rights causing a woman to go crazy. So I've never not stopped thinking about water.
I didn't watch Arise. Well, no, we watched Arise. I got it confused with 2045. No, you're right. Water rights again.
Yeah.
Ooh, see, that's so interesting about this series. It has so many texts to pull from.
And the thing that I'm brushing up against, the thing that I was preoccupied about in this episode is that it's taking handfuls that I think are too big. Because another thing that's inserted into this episode that is kind of part of the Puppet Master in the manga is a larger plot that has its fingers in a bunch of chapters. But what they've done with this episode is they've sort of inserted more of the Puppet Master 1995 plot into it.
Yes.
In the manga, correct me if I'm wrong. I maybe need to go re-listen to our manga episode or something. But if I recall correctly,
Alice has the tome.
I've been reading along with my copy.
Good deal.
In my recollection, the garbage truck thing is cool and it's like an iconic part of the manga, but it is like 2 pages. Like Alice was saying, like some of the stuff is like really, really not. And what they've done is like they've added a bunch of talking between the garbage men. They added some weird animation in their conversation that sort of implies that something weirder is going on with one of the guys in a way that seems to like respond to the 95 movie, because as we recall from the 95 movie, those guys are more important because one of the garbage truck guys has actually had his ghost hacked. And I don't know, it's that plus like how many names I'm getting, plus like who is this person that's getting hacked and when, what is the kind of hacking? Like I understand all of that stuff on paper, but like when I try to recall all of the things in this episode, like the details, like the things that Nico, that you guys are picking up on sort of just fall out of the equation for me. So that's like a little thing that I'm struggling with, but like all of the stuff I had to say about it from the last episode is still true. It still is just visually like I'm like drooling and crying and throwing up.
And the music goes hard as fuck.
So here's them getting the call, and then that's the entire chase sequence.
There it is.
That's
2 pages.
Yeah.
It's 2 pages. When we talk about things that they've grown, I also think about the things that they've shrunk. Specifically, we don't actually get to see the Moto Campo that Aramaki drives.
It's so...
There was no reason to cut that unless they didn't get Honda's okay.
It feels so intentional because he is clearly on it. He's clearly using it, but the camera just won't pan down past his waistline. It won't go there.
I can't remember. Is the CEO of Honda or the CEO of Toyota the fascist?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Don't throw that at me.
You gotta narrow it down when you're talking about CEOs. One of them is a
huge Trump fanboy. It's Toyota. Okay, we're safe. Okay. Honda, you have no excuse. We would have understood the chudding if you had avoided the
chuddification of Japanese car manufacturers.
Things like that they took out of it, I do think are noticeable. Something we haven't gotten we've gotten more voice of Togusa than anybody else, but like we haven't gotten Saito. We haven't gotten Paz, you know?
Yeah, we haven't even, I don't even know if we've really seen Paz. Have we like seen?
See you later, ad? I forget.
Maybe. The
manga doesn't really make anything about recruiting people.
I just, because you mentioned Togusa, like if we're gonna kind of like pick and choose.
First off, the wife is back. Wifing of all time. I love this one scene.
Love in all the other ghosts in the shell, Togusa's wife is kind of she's either not really there or she's like very I think of like in SAC when she like has hobbies and stuff.
Yeah,
but
she's a very
she's from me.
But she has like she's submissive and like very like I don't know, she just kind of seems to be very like whatever Togusa is about. In this, Togusa is such a fail child.
He's a fail husband.
They've set him up as our jester.
She has no time for his bullshit. He sucks at everything. I kind of love it. I don't know.
Togusa
this is a great
Nation,
like new
our stocks are low, and yet because they're low, they're high. I have to say again in this episode, Toga says once again died. He's okay, but he did die.
He did die. He's gonna have to like pull out some super competent detective shit later on, because he is still just getting owned over and over again. Kusanagi gives him like 5 minutes straight of shit for his gun choices.
Well, that's classic. That's and I feel like that's well appreciated by the gun girlies.
That's what makes it work, is that Togus has always had the air of, in Section 9, being sort of the one that isn't quite reaching the same bar of performance as everyone else because of the limitations on his body.
I like him as like an old style guy that also is a little bit over the top. In this, they've added that he favors a machine gun that can pierce walls because it's all slugs. And
First off, it's not a machine gun; it's a shotgun.
No, shotgun. That's what I meant to say. He went with revolver and shotgun, which is kind of like such a retro choice in this future
Western
of like hyper efficient SMGs. It's really funny.
I'm going to use it as a jumping off point. So something that has been going around about this is how much they actually leaned on the military advisors on set for the anime.
Right. Yes.
And so this shotgun scene happens 1-for-1 in the manga, but they kind of cut out some of the discourse where he's like, oh, it's filled with slugs. And they kind of trim it because in the manga it talks about, oh, with, birdshot, you can't even punch through a car door, which is incorrect. You can. And so in the show, they've corrected that to be like, oh, I can punch through a car, aka the engine, which is the important thing you would want to be doing. But they do things like that. Like I wanted to find something to hate on the guns, but reading that and seeing how this specific episode took it, like, we're perverts again. We did it, guys. Gun pervertism is back.
I don't want to like toot our own horns, but there's an energy in Section 9 so far in this that really has me thinking a lot about our actual play that we did last Christmas. Because we were really gremlin coded also.
Oh, yeah. We were.
Yeah.
I think we were really channeling this.
We were channeling
Major's
this.
Peak gremlin. To get into Gremlin Major.
Yeah, all right.
Hey. So they do the Yuri sex scene. She kisses, there's some goo, and we talk about how she has a sensitive body. More sensitive than anything. Weird order.
Y'all, the goo is not related to the kissing. The goo is ancillary to the kissing. The goo is
related to the kissing, for sure.
The goo is happening, but it's sunscreen. Robot sunscreen is blue, and I love that, first of all.
First off, you and I both know that wasn't sunscreen.
It's clearly supposed to be like evoking lube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also she has she keeps doing like a couple, maybe both of them. I know one of them keeps doing, they have like a weird holographic glove apparatus on, and they keep doing glove. Like a cow enema, like snap it over their fingers thing with it. Like we're clearly doing some like insertion politics in the Major's vacation. Anyway, this is, Iris J said it best. This is the closest we're going to get to the hentai chapters, and I love that for everyone, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I also like, because I know it's coming because we're doing 1-for-1, we're going to get her dating a dude, and honestly, bisexual gremlin Major is yeah, I'm pretty into it. I think it's reading very well. I think this Major is reading well. This scene's reading well. It also less creepy. His insertion in this time, like he actually has like in the manga, he's kind of creepy about peeking in on that. In this one, he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't, oh god.
After this episode came out, literally over like between 3 and 5 people across multiple Discords I'm on changed their profile picture to post-orgasm Major from this scene.
This is doing numbers with trans women.
Yeah, I went into the Discord to congratulate all of the beautiful dolls in my life, especially the DIY dolls, because there's a lot of DIY mod talk in this, which is real. I was like, okay, I know the girls who are installing Debian are thriving right now. It is a total cultural victory for that. It's really fantastic. I will say, I think there's an interesting valence here, because as we find out when Bato
you didn't thank
goes
me.
to...
You didn't congratulate me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'll never praise you. That's our dynamic.
Okay. You know I have a praise kink and you can't let me have it.
I won't indulge. I'm straight edge at work. That's nothing. That's it. It means nothing.
Oh, I have an abandonment kink too. This is doing it for me.
Too. Anyway, Bato gets a dose of the Major's orgasm. That's what Nico's about to talk about.
He gets attacked in the spiritual realm by the Major's orgasm. But I do think it's interesting. So Bato pops in on Aramaki's orders to convey to the Major that her vacation is canceled. She's got to come in, and he's the only one on comms because he's running surveillance on the guy who keeps putting cigars out in perfectly good glasses of ice water. And when he pops in, I do think there's an interesting valence to this with it being virtual. Because what we find out is that, like, the scene we're shown is, like, Major on, like, a little sailboat with the two GFs making out, getting sunscreen put on, getting hot and heavy. And then, as it turns out, it's three women laying in Major's bedroom in various poses of just, like, Family Guy death pose. They're all jacked into the computer. She invited her two DIY girlfriends to come over and jack straight across for a sexy summer adventure instead of going on a sexy summer adventure. She is a perverted dweeb. And I do think that that is something that will be interesting to talk about versus if she is dating a guy more IRL. I don't know. That could be something we get into. But also, I already like the idea that we're getting into the Major as an avatar. I think that's something we touched on with Iris J in our like SAC episodes, that the Major's body in our real world is a kind of avatar for her. And the more we get into different abstractions of digital existence, I think there's going to be more and more interesting questions to ask about, like, what does it mean to be a person in Motoko's mind? Because she has all these different levels of it to access and hoes in every zip code. She's a fuckboy. We finally achieved lethal gynoid deadbeat boyfriend, and I'm so glad for the
But it's so good because, like, every Major we've gotten until now has been like a scholar, really thinking deeply about these deep issues, and now we have Gremlin Major who is exploring these things and she has strong opinions about ghosts and things like this, but she's not like sitting there pontificating about it. She out there getting laid.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's a different type of thing.
Color in this. I think the color has made what I thought was very bland manga into something beautiful. My specific call out is when she is in the van with Togasa and she just has like a rain cloak that's like psychedelic tie-dye.
She's getting so many fits off in this episode.
Yeah, we got seersucker suits back. Let's give it up for seersucker suits.
Hey everybody, we're back. We're so back. Yeah, I missed, I wrote a really weird note here, which is just, I missed being in Japan future traffic. Because when they do the bridge scene, they're doing just like the drive into Tokyo, which is, it's not Tokyo, it's a different city, but they're doing that kind of like hyper urbanized drive in on the big highway. And I was like, why is this nostalgic for me?
Because they do it in every one. The other thing is art style that I want to talk about, because I mostly have strokes in this one. Besides, yeah, I do. So, like, I don't know if you noticed how some of these characters are drawn, but like Trash Man is drawn like he's drawn in the manga. It's a very reductive art style, and like, it's not that they had to 1-for-1 it, but like the giant trash pile with an old man in it. In the manga, they don't call out that somebody threw out an old man. In the show, they do. Things that are really cool with the art style, that they're taking these cool parts of the manga and keeping them in that weird art style, because it doesn't really matter what that old man looks like. We don't need to give him a full, art.
It creates an interesting energy. One of the things I love from the very beginning is that Bato is too big for he damn car. Like, he's so huge in that little car. There's so many things like that where it's like the almost the cartoonish stuff is also mixing with like the really, again, like I highlighted last time, hyper detailed. When the guy that Bato is surveilling lights a cigar, that is a decadent shot. Like, that is a elaborately drawn
that's
shot.
A good one. There's also the like and the it's crazy that these are in the same episode sometimes, because you also get that drawing that they made into the promotional art, which is of the interpreter that got hacked, and they have her in that chair with all the wires.
Mm-hmm.
That's an incredibly like immaculate, like detailed, the way that the wires are going all these different directions that draw your eye to other elements of the room, and like who's standing
where people are placed, how the camera is looking at the scene.
It looks so amazing.
We're back at camera school, guys.
and then 5 minutes later, like Alice said, you have an old man that's drawn basically like a Homestuck character with just like a toothpick and a little smiley face.
But he's in a fully rendered background, which is never not funny.
Gas. Hey, can we talk about crow gas?
Hey, the birds are back.
Can we talk about how the garbage men of this city need the budget that Motoko Kusanagi just took from them?
Okay, so
why are they full of needles?
when you talk about adding things, this is interesting. So they get stuck with needles and glass, and they talk about, oh, if we were like the refugees and we rioted, we would get PPE. Also, I used to be one of the welfare kids. These are all things that didn't exist in the source material. They're fleshing them out, which, again, we have 10 episodes. I don't know if we need to be fleshing things out in ways like that.
Well, see, because I'm interested though, because I imagine we're going to get greenlit. I don't know. There's been a lot of buzz around the show. I imagine Amazon has funded stupider projects. I imagine we're going to get greenlit for another thing. But like, I like that because again, like our trajectory is we head into volume 2, which is going to go really weird. But if we're working within volume 1 and there's extra stuff in there, I like the potential. Like, I'm interested to see how the pacing, like you said, Brian, the pacing.
I would love them to take it and just live in this space before we get to book 2. I just want Section 9 to exist in this state for 30 seasons.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I'm worried again, just that we're going too fast, because even though there's all this extra stuff, like it still feels like they're trying to nail down. I don't really know what to do with the fact that like we kind of alluded to it in the summary and like the episode structure, but like it seems like the episode structure is that we're gonna get like literally like a 3 to 5 minute thing on whatever happened last time, like concluding that story before we launch into a new thing. And because all the episodes are titled like something plus something else, right? And I don't know. It's
like I said, I'm cold open.
I'm worried because I'm already having trouble like nailing down.
Here's what I'll say. If you do the math, you take out the OPs and the endings, 21 minutes times 10 episodes, 210. This is just a long movie. And I think when the cut comes out, the fan cut that takes all that out, it's going to read as a movie. And that's where I'm feeling like we rush through that first chapter. We have a setup, now we're into the main plot. Like, it has very movie structure that way. Where they go from here will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it shapes up, yeah. But that's my worry right now. Because, like, I'm still loving it, but that's just, I want to foreground that concern because of how these Amazon anime projects that have little runtime and huge hype have me a little, I'm like a deer. I'm like very, like, every time a loud noise happens, I'm like,
you are living like a little scared rabbit. It's okay. I'm going to try to put you in my overall pocket. I do want to talk about something. So, like, I had promised a eventual feminist take, and that's still actually backburnered. But, Alice, I wanted to talk to you about something that I thought about with this episode. Brian, you were also invited to the discussion, but I feel like Alice is going to have thoughts about it, which is...
I thought the Baroque architecture of the Parliament building was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I did too. No, I'm talking about titties, Alice. Can you please lock in? It reminded me...
I'll always lock in when it comes to titties.
It's so true about you. That's what I respect as my colleague. It reminded me of something that I remember from being kind of an old head. Now, Alice, we know you're 17 forever and ageless in that way. But I think you obviously remember, and Brian too will remember, like, Ranma Half being like the thing you saw a lot of ads for, and so much of the comedy of that specific kind of like young men's manga turned anime, the comedy of it is partially derived from seeing titties, but also the comedy of creating a social situation in which you have seen titties, and the innate comedy of just like, I don't know, like the encounter of sexuality. I thought they were going to be
a major problem when I transitioned. I was going to be getting into so many situations with my new titties.
Listen, girls, it's only that they have studied breast growth up to 2 years. It doesn't mean it stops there. It means we don't have studies. Believe in yourself. No, I'm just saying. No, what I wanted to say is, like, I think it's so funny that I think in modern anime, we have sort of entered a black and white era of if tits are on screen, it's a TNA show, or like the tits kind of aren't on screen. Whereas before, I feel like tits also used to be a comedy vector. And we're seeing a little bit of return to form with like female body and exaggerated sexuality being a comedy vector in a weird way.
I think
in
a lot
funny
of
way, in a classic
that.
Way.
Yeah. So there's this pretty good discourse about retro versus modern anime and its treatment of women on the worst parts of Blue Sky. And I think like So when you think back to some shows of that era, like there's an innate sexualization of women as a baseline, but like high cut leotards were just kind of, that can also just be a thing that appears on screen. I think a lot of like school scenes in those old animes, like they were almost always played for comedy, not tits and ass. Whereas any swimming pool scene in a modern anime is going to be tits and ass if women are involved.
Right, and it's so funny because it's like the comedy scenes were still TNA, but they were doing two things in a way that I feel like nowadays. I mean, I'm sure there are comedy, anime, and manga and slice of life stuff that are still doing this, but yeah.
You watched Full Metal Panic, right?
Oh, Full Metal Panic was more formative to my life than I would like to think about.
Same kind of energy. Like the deployment of tits is very different, and I think the deployment of tits in this one has that same energy, mostly because 90s anime sexualized the male characters in its own way of an ideal, and like they were playing to a female audience. And in the modern one, you need MCs who are just black-haired dudes that you can self-insert, so they don't have anything to be like urine for. This does kind of feel like, I mean, like it's she's with her band of himbos, and they're all just kind of like serving. But yeah, it's an interesting thought. Brian, your thoughts on titties and ass?
And the military consultant's role in the deployment of tits, because we kept using that word to make me laugh.
I don't really know how to connect all of that to this episode, really. I guess if we're talking about like the
specific moment I think I would point to is when Bato enters her brain, and there's that silhouette, that like thrown back silhouette of the bouncing titties, and like Bato's horrified shock and everything.
Oh yeah, okay, right? I'm watching it right now. I did just see that.
That's deployed for comedy as opposed to just titillation, which I thought was an interesting throwback.
Yeah.
Later, she's in the truck with Togusa, and her titties are encased in the tightest lycra I've ever seen in my life, and that's just there.
But I did note that it's like it happens, and she's still putting on her uniform, and like it doesn't linger in the same way. It's present, but it doesn't linger. I don't know. It's interesting. I wanted to comment on. It feels like
it's
a
not like
retro
the Cranberries.
Touch.
It doesn't linger.
No, it doesn't let it linger. Do you have to?
We do. You do have to. So the other thing we need to talk about, because we're a Mecha podcast, we get some good Fuchikoma.
We do. Let's give it up for Fuchikoma.
My one thing I want to talk about with this is there is a scene where they are cloaked on the side of the building, and they are in their cockpits. And I just like this. This is a fun mech thing. Like, the camera shots are sideways, and you can see them, like, they draw the bodies kind of with weight pulling down on them. This is before Togusa fucking dies again, by the way.
He's okay, but he did die.
What did my harem say? They said, somebody get a baby Bjorn for him or something. We got to strap him down. He's flopping too much in there.
We've made this joke. We've made the Bato wearing a Togusa baby Bjorn joke before. That's incredible that this show made us recreate it. That means we're right. It means we're right.
The rich text we can pull from our podcast.
Our podcast.
No, but what I like about the Fuchikomas in this is that when we see them invisible, they're like this like neon blue color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just like that like looked really cool, and it seemed like it was like a way, maybe a more, I don't know if it's cheaper to do something that's like blue and shiny like that than try to do that weird like textured camo look, you know? But it was a cool artistic touch. I hope we get more of that. And I liked the action with them too.
It felt like save the production cost where you can. And like in that scene, the importance isn't that they're camouflaged. It reads as it very quickly to the audience, but you're not focusing on it. Versus the scene when he looks over and the optic camo Fuchikomas are landing, and we see that like brief flicker. They put a lot of money into that flicker.
It was crazy. That was a good
I think it was
shot.
a director choice. I don't know. This director does some crazy shit.
Can we talk about the spider-manification of the Fuchikomas? I kind of always thought the Fuchikoma Tachikoma mobility thing was wires that they'd been like rapid retracted.
Nope.
This is presenting a new, again, spider-manified, though, I mean, I think it's from the original manga, but just web fluid. We got web fluid. They're leaving their web fluid everywhere when it breaks.
It's fluid in sack, isn't it?
I
think it's fluid in sack.
I never noticed. I mean, it does make saran wrap noises.
In this,
so
they call it out. Togusa's goo tanks are low after his first kid. And wait, cut back to, was that Shinzo Abe on the coin?
On the coin?
Was it on the coin that he paid with?
I didn't see. Okay. Oh my god, hold on, wait, when was that? What did he pay for?
real early in the episode, like minute 2.
He's spinning a coin.
He spins a coin, and you get a good shot of it. I thought it was Shinzo Abe.
Can we get a side by side?
Pain with coins in a Ghost in the Shell is really neat.
But it looks like a fucking gold doubloon is the crazy thing.
It's a data file.
Okay, so no, it's not Shinzo Abe. This guy looks... Honestly, I'm going to say something controversial. It's hard to tell sometimes because it's anime, but I think given the facial structure, this looks like a white person on this coin, personally.
Let's give it up for America.
We got a white boy?
But here's my theory. I think this is this bar's gimmick because in Denver, we have a couple bars that we like to go to that are cash only. That's their gimmick. They won't accept modern forms of payment.
I like that.
So maybe that's what this bar is doing.
Yeah, you can only spend the beautiful white man's doubloon.
Those creepy CIA guys from Arise are like running this.
This is where they come.
Oh my
this
God.
Weird establishment.
But yeah, related to Fuchikomas, we get some good ass Fuchikoma stunts on screen. Like obviously the slow-mo as the garbage truck is coming down the hill and the Fuchikomas are landing is sick as hell. But we get aerial Fuchikoma flips and shit. It's really good.
I would be remiss if I also didn't bring up the, what would you call it? The net in this one, the communications. There's one specific scene in which big dumb guy.
Otto?
The
Boma?
other ranger.
No, Boma.
Where Borma calls the major and is on a screen in the Fuchikoma, and it's the funniest one single drawing of Borma I've ever seen in my life. But we also... when the connection goes through, when he's calling it in, there's this insane transition with the electricity thing going across. And then there's another scene where they do like 3 panels. They're doing transitions in an insane way in this, and trying to evoke the net without them dropping into a room. They really are just doing instant data transfer when they're doing things, and I think it's interesting. I think it still doesn't read too well for like new viewers what the net or a cyborg is yet, but like I'm having fun.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting approach. And like you said, I think it is a good contrast with previous versions that have just like put them in a chat room. That's a literal room.
We got to do 3 questions.
I have one more thing.
And Brian, what's your final thought?
I have one more thing to say. It's about Boma. Boma continues to rock fits. My theory is that Boma was also vacation because he's rocking a pink Hawaiian shirt in this episode.
It's so good.
It's so good, cute too. First question: were there any mechs in this episode? Yes, there were. There were Fuchikomas, and were the Fuchikomas cool?
They were.
Yeah, they
did
got to
everything
be cool in this one.
When the van opens up and the little Fuchikomas trundle out one at a time.
It's so good.
I think we can also count some of the ghost diving here. I think it's good. When she gets brought out to punch himself.
Brain case on
brain
screen.
Case. Hanging brain case.
Hanging
brain case will never not be good. Question 2. How much was the major a gremlin this time?
Oh,
10.
Extremely gremlin.
10 out of 10. Hentai gremlin.
Hentai gremlin and subject to other hentai gremlins.
She's like disgusting laughing when she gets her budget approved. Like it's gross and I love her.
But you never have all of your goals.
You said it in the intro, but her tagging herself as hottie is so good.
I think this version is the version that reads best to me, that the major has a body that she basically picked out and she enjoys the fuck out of being in it, which I think it's finally reading for me in a very clear way.
Ooh, yeah.
Also, she is a fuck boy. She said, "Girls, can you lock up? I gotta go to work."
Steve.
Any closing thoughts on this episode? This is your time to get the thoughts out.
There's no other time.
No, I think I got it all out.
For the first time, I clocked that the ending like stills that we get that they go through in the closing is the timeline of computation. I really appreciated seeing the literal female computers with the big IBM machines. I finally clocked that. I was like, ooh, I love that. I need the fucking OP and endings to drop on streaming. They may just be on Spotify. I need them on Deezer. Some of us tried to make an ethical choice and move to fucking Deezer.
Nuts.
And literally deal with that joke every time it comes up. And I just need it. My reparations, I just need the Ghost in the Shell opening.
Oh, you can just download these off the internet, by the way.
Well, yeah, but
you can just download things and put them on your iPod.
It's effort.
Did you buy
on
a
your
Zune?
iPod?
I did not buy a Zune. I did buy 2 iPod Nanos. I got a 2nd and 3rd gen. I've got to solder.
We've got to rate these goddamn mechs. Okay, guys.
Nope. I have a final note. The ending art. this time, the still at the end, was by Ilya Kushinov.
This is the
character designer for SAC 2045 and is the upcoming character designer for the Death Stranding anime. I just wanted to put that out there. It's interesting. This is a Russian illustrator who lives in Tokyo now. I just thought it was interesting because it was like, oh, hello. And then I just read the subtitle at the end of the screen and was like, time to deep dive this guy.
I guess my final thought is everyone's really welcome. That I haven't said I watched Tokyo Drift yesterday. Subscribe to Cars Don't Fly at ko-fi.com/OSGpod. And there's a guy with a Texan accent that says Gaijin a lot in that movie, and I haven't said it once this episode. So
that's me.
That was great.
Unfortunately, that is me. I actually have a Japanese accent. I take it off and I say Gaijin.
Gaijin. So, we are rating the mechs as we go through the series.
That's right, shit.
Keeping a live score. Last episode, we were all at a 10. No, wait, we weren't.
Oh, I was at a 10.
You were at a 10.
Brian, Alice was at a 7, Brian was at a 10, and Nico was at a 5.
Yeah.
For episode 2, you're never going to guess, I'm at a 10.
Okay.
Damn, for real?
I think diving in with your girlfriends into the net and rubbing lube on each other and min-maxing your body mods for maximum haptic feedback is as cool as hanging off the side of the building strapped inside a camoed Fuchikoma.
That's a turbo orgasm, I think. If you have that, if your haptics turned up that way, that's like a turbo orgasm. That's like a gigagasm.
That's the goal.
The whole day was supposed to be over sim shit. And then
oh my God, they were gooning!
They were gooning.
I'm realizing my strategic error in starting at a 10 because unless the show does something really bad with the mechs, I have to stay at a 10.
Have they done anything bad with the mechs yet?
Metric in and of itself.
So I'm still at a 10 because like nothing happened that was bad of mechs.
See, I'm giving it episode by episode. The graphs on this is going to be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nico,
I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10 because we got really cool Fuchikoma shit. We got really cute Fuchikoma shit without so much of the mouth stuff. We got, once again, Togusa absolutely getting obliterated because they apparently don't have airbags. RIP my man, the Togusa Nation. We are in mourning again.
He at least has a 3-point harness, unlike Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked.
Preach it.
But yeah, I really like...
What about Shakira?
I specifically deployed the phrase...
No, go ahead. I have something after.
I specifically used the phrase jacking straight across when I described that major scene because it literally reminded me of the William Gibson short story where the guy jacks straight across with the girl because she does these like crazy mental like dive experiences and it's like this high form of intimacy. They did not jack straight across because it seems like they plugged directly into some kind of hub.
Alice is always jacking straight across from girls.
You know I am!
But, like, they all plug in, and I love the scene of them just being losers, fully dressed, crashed out on some beanbags in the Major's bed, plugged into a computer. That's cyberpunk to me. Like I said, this is the episode.
Upside down.
I start to understand the avatar aspect of the Major as an embodied person. It's a 10. It's a 10 for me. So
hot.
Yeah, it's
Brian,
might be the greatest episode of Ghost in the Shell ever made.
Possibly. I have a new segment for us. This segment's going to drop on a non-mainline episode because to force completionists to listen to our Ghost in the Shell coverage. This I don't know. I don't have a title for it yet, but this is the segment where we put Alice on trial for doing research bad.
Yes, Burn the Witch, Alice edition.
I have a couple cases to bring against Alice today, because one happened a while ago and we forgot to talk about it.
Castricia.
Pronouncing things wrong is one thing, and I think we're all just gonna have to live with that. Yep. We're just gonna have to carry on.
What about Jennifer Lopez's past have I ever gotten wrong?
So
no.
Well, let's go in chronological order. The first one happened a while ago and we forgot to talk about it, even though I said we were going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Which was in our Gundam F91 episode. Alice said that something about gas that was pretty much wholesale made up by somebody. Not Alice, but somebody on the internet made that up.
There was a non-cited thing on Wikipedia that I read and repeated. And some supporting evidence would point to that maybe being a reason they made that decision.
I would believe it.
I would believe it's believable. That's why I believed it.
It's believable, but it's not back-up-ifiable.
I want to apologize first off to Mobile Suit Breakdown, who I've hurt by doing this. I'd like to apologize to my co-hosts. I'd like to apologize to the Crossbone Vanguard for what I've done to them.
You don't have to.
I thought that they did the bugs
give it to them
instead of gas because they didn't want to scare kids, but they actually just chose bugs instead of gas for some reason.
For freak reasons. For freak reasons.
I
don't like this segment. What do they do when they when a newspaper fucks up and they publish something the next day? It's a
retraction.
That's why I said that.
we can also say errata.
Ooh, I like errata. Erotic errata.
Erotic errata.
Is it always got to be erotic, though?
The second case we have to bring about against Alice today is that she said that J-Lo got her start as a backup dancer for Shakira. I know what happened here. I'm going to raise my hand. I know what happened here.
Okay.
Shakira at one point was a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, and Alice can't tell women apart. That's what happened here.
That's so true. Alice loves women, but Alice is face blind when it comes to women. All women are women to Alice, and all women are queens.
You could have just said she was a backup dancer for a woman, and we would have
been, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
First off, I apologize to J-Lo. I know in this trying time post breakup that she's really trying to relaunch her career.
Wait, is she single?
What I've done, the OSG voice coming out and slandering her like that. I will say that I did my own research after this, and she did perform with Shakira.
She did a halftime show with Shakira.
That's right. But yes, it was Janet Jackson. The problematic nature of my statement is going to be explored in depth with me and my therapist. I have donated to the Janet Jackson Foundation as part of my reparations for what I've done. So I'm sorry. Fuck Brad Pitt, but I'm sorry, J-Lo.
She's single.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez. Yeah. I am free on Thursday.
This is not a case. This is a supplementary clause in the paperwork, but I don't know if this is a bit Alice is doing or if this was just bad research, but J-Lo and Brad Pitt have probably never even looked at each other. She keeps talking about Ben Affleck and calling him Brad Pitt. I just want to say that up front also.
They're different people.
It's exactly like the time I said Ryan Reynolds when I meant Ryan Gosling, and I just want to say that I'm on Mint Mobile, so unfortunately I am in the pocket of Big Ryan.
Here's my thought, and I want to be vindicated on this, which is, I know what our listenership is. I know what genre we're in. And I took a really big bet that absolutely none of these people have ever got on to any TMZ style website or even seen those headlines.
Okay.
And it was an completely incorrect
we're here because those people called us out. But okay.
I just think that our podcast is beautiful, and much like people who believed in something that I made up for a fan fiction I published recently and then got made fun of by their significant others, I'm calling you out, commenter. Don't just believe things people say to you. Don't do that.
Okay, Alice, here's how we're going to close this segment. You are going to jail. But what happens? So we're an Ace Attorney, and you've kept yourself very calm and cool through your story, and now we've picked it through, and we've uncovered all your lies. What is the freaky animation that happens to you when you finally lose your cool and snap and admit that you did the murder?
I have one in stock if you don't.
Obviously my sprite is me just in a maid costume, and I'm looking very demure and elegant, and I'm always like, oh, that's not true. Very Ocho-sama. And so when I freak out, I like rip off my headdress and my ring curls poof out and everything. And I see a lot of kiss in this reaction, a lot of tongue action, a lot of guitar.
She has like
I feel like I'm going like like that character from Danganronpa. Basically is what I'm imagining. And as I'm being dragged out of the court, I do get a shot off and take out Nico with me.
Okay.
That's true. That's fair. Because I was going to suggest, if you didn't have one locked in, to do the clown animation where she has huge tits and then snaps her suspenders and her tits pop because they're balloons.
Does that mean that our listeners are the Jameson court behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you not?
And every time they like clap or ooh and ah, it's like metal going.
Yeah. Listeners, you sound like tongs.
The saddest part of this, on my way to jail, I just want to say, you should have executed me because it's going to happen again, and we'll be right back in this court. The system's a joke. I'm going to bond out by morning.
I'm smoking like Anthony Bourdain gif.
I thought about doing like a full Higuruma impression from JJK, but it would have been too much in the post edit, I think.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would have been a lot.
We're almost at an hour and most of it is stupid bits. Do we want to wrap it?
Thanks for listening, pilots. If you have any thoughts on this show, you can send those thoughts to us at questions@osgpod.com, and non-pilots can send journal questions or feedback to that same address. You can also catch up with us on social media. Links are in the description. For updates and more, you'll find a link to the show Discord. We have a channel for this show. Talk about spoilers and retime with us. Come on and just tell me how many times you've seen the Yuri scene on repeat, because I've just been kind of looping it for a week at this point. Make sure to check back next week when we'll be talking about the next Make sure to check back next week where I will be released from jail and recording another episode with my friends. Until then, goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye. I am falling into your lap, hang gliding pussy first.
Goodbye. Wet fluid low.
J-Lo single? ?